Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-24.
You get the NBA tonight. Maybe you'll get one there. Maybe not what you're used to, but boy, did you get some late game heroics last night if you were sampling some product. What up, boys and girls? Happy Thursday to you. The hockey was everything it was supposed to be last night. The softball was, pretty damn good if you caught some of that. Opening drive in your ear on 95.9 FM. An AM 610 The Sports Animal. I'm back on headphones today. Jeff Symbieta, he is JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
Life's grooving. I made the switch over to the travel pack, and I'm not sure where I put my little earbuds. So good thing I keep these things handy. Just so I can do radio.
Gotta always have a backup.
Like the parking garage. I guess they had problems this morning. They had a backup parking. Not for you and me. We're good.
Oh, you just lost a segment this morning over there.
Yeah, I know. Joe took care of us before. Better ending last night. Better drama. The hockey, McDavid to Draisaitl, late in overtime, winner by Leon Draisaitl, Game 1, Stanley Cup Final, Canada go crazy. Or, again, not sure I've ever seen something exactly like it on an attempted intentional walk, a winning 2 RBI single in the College World Series for softball, which was better drama last night.
I think the only way you could match the intensity of an overtime game winner in the Stanley Cup is the obscurity of seeing someone trying to intentionally walk someone and get it wrong and it leading to 2 runs.
It was the most unbelievable intentional walk attempt I've ever seen, JJ. Now in big league baseball, they've eliminated having to throw the baseball, right? You just tell the umpire, I'm walking the batter. You put up 4 fingers. The batter goes to first base. In collegiate softball, you must throw 4 pitches. And if you watched, and if you didn't, it happened anyway, whether you watched it or not. But if in the game last night, they play 7 innings, this was bottom 6. Texas Tech is up 1-0 over Texas. I believe there are to have been 2 outs at the time, right? And Texas's Reese Atwood, who was hitless in the College World Series, is at bat. And the superstar pitcher that you heard yesterday, if you were with us, is getting paid $1 million in NIL, Najeri Kennedy, who came over from Stanford, is attempting to intentionally walk Reese Atwood to set. I guess there must have been 1 out because that would have set up the double play. And instead of, like in baseball, if you recall way back in the day, 2 years ago, when they actually had to intentionally walk it, the catcher would put his hand out or her hand out, and you would throw they used to call them 4 wide ones, right? Outside, just outside. Well, in this case, the catcher just stood up and they were pumping him down the middle of the plate. And I want to say the second ball 2 looked like how did they not call that a strike? It was right at the letters. It was right down the middle of the plate. And Reese Atwood stood there. And on the 3-0 pitch, when they were trying to walk her, she just threw one down the middle, and Atwood swung and slapped one through the left side of the infield with runners at second and third and 2 runs scored. And Texas wins the game 2-1. I never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's almost like your best pitcher has never had to intentionally walk someone this year.
And she said, I give it to her after the game. Did you see her post game? She was asked, have you ever had a, intentionally walk somebody? She's like, I made the mistake. This loss is on me. I apologize to my teammates. She said, I'm a junior in college. I should know how to get that done. She totally earned it. Owned it. Totally owned it. Like she's like, this is on me. I apologize to my teammates. All those things. And
it was bad execution from the pitcher and the catcher.
The catcher just stood up.
Stood straight up.
Yeah. So meanwhile, the umpire couldn't even call a strike if they wanted to because they couldn't see the strike zone. It was one of the most bizarre things ever. And yet that takes away the lead from what I watched on hockey last night. Because the hockey was insane last night. Edmonton scores, a minute 18 into the game? The Panthers score 3 in a row. Edmonton scored 2 straight to tie it. They go into overtime. And late in the first overtime, it's McDavid to Draisaitl. Winner, Oilers get dinner. It was everything game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final should have been. The Panthers said they let up. They relaxed when they were up. What's the most dangerous lead in hockey, or in sports, JJ?
2-goal lead?
Yeah, a 2-goal lead in hockey. What did the Panthers have last night?
2-goal lead?
Yeah, on the road, they were 8-2 on the road in the playoffs so far. And they claim that they let up. All I know is Edmonton's good. That place is bonkers. And one of the cool things, if you get a chance, and I know this isn't the game and this isn't, you know what I really enjoyed? The singing of the national anthems in Edmonton. Did you catch before the game?
I did not watch the anthem.
So they got a dude that sings the anthem all the time, right? And he's in the stands. I think he's the guy who sings it all the time. And he is in his Oilers sweater and surrounded by Oilers fans, and he sings the American national anthem. And there was I expected some sort of, boo or no. They were good. And then he starts "Oh Canada" and he sings the first verse and holds the microphone out, and the entire arena sings the rest of the anthem. And obviously, there were parts of the anthem, "Strong and Free," where they really emphasized it with an American team in there. But it kind of almost was chilling. to watch. I know it sounds bonkers, watch hockey to watch the anthem, but the anthem itself is kind of worth a watch. I don't know anywhere in America that happens, but they sure do it right. The over was 6.5. Is that right? 6.5 goals. 7.
Told you yesterday, take the over 4-3 Edmonton win.
Yeah, you did, and
take it to the bank.
Yep. And I don't even know what the spread was. Was it a half goal? I mean, it was terrific. The hitting was great. The skill is fantastic. It's. I mean, I'm bummed that we only got about another week of this, back and forth between hockey and basketball. Because I feel like this time of year, it's like, okay, I'm going home, and I've got something that matters to watch every night. In about a week, what do I got? Rockies? Oh, by the way,
you might be able to start calling it a comeback.
Come back to what? Come back to, I mean, I want to. Come back, what are they coming back to? I want to.
It's a long season, man.
3 in a row,
long
dude.
Season.
3 in a row. Yeah, but they're not going to play the Marlins every night, which certainly helped because the Marlins are 15 back in the East and 23 and 57. The Rockies have won 3 in a row. They win in Miami last night, 3-2, sweep the series to remain 25 games back of the Dodgers.
Still in it.
Yeah, still in what? How about this?
The math is mathing.
All right. The wild card standings, they're only 22 out there. They're only 22 out in the wild.
All it takes is craziest 3 months you've ever seen.
Fair enough. That's all it takes. I love that you got a little bit of fake faith.
Isn't that life, fake faith?
Somewhat. Yeah, I imagine.
Gotta have fake faith.
I imagine it is. It's beautiful. All right, here's what we got for you today. We're open for business at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Your emails will come in this morning like they always do. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Adrian's in this morning, as he is every morning, producing on ProView Networks. You can watch our show on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. You can watch it on our Facebook channel page, the OD in the AM, and the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Guest list today coming up at 9 o'clock. Actually, JJ, I'm looking forward to this. The path to professional careers takes a lot of different turns, right? And, where'd that guy come from? Oh, he's from Alabama. Oh, he's from SC. Oh, he's from Notre Dame. Well, he's from Eastern New Mexico University, and he played 11 years in the National Football League. And Michael Sinclair is going to be inducted into the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame coming up later this month. And I'm looking forward to the conversation. Just his path there, the preparation, and we'll talk to him about football and his career in the Seahawks and their quarterback situation. But former Seahawk great, former Eastern New Mexico Greyhound, Michael Sinclair is going to join us coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll get you ready for maybe get some interest in you to get out to the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame banquet, which I'm emceeing at the end of the month. It'll be over at the Albuquerque Convention Center on the 20, whatever that Sunday is, the last Sunday of the month. So we'll do that coming up at 9 o'clock. We got hoops tonight, the NBA Finals getting set. We'll get you ready for that. I think some interesting stories coming out of the National Football League. Some really interesting baseball stuff, off the field stuff, but Strike Zone and Pete Rose and all kinds of stuff. When we come back, though, it's the Thunder and the Pacers tonight. The latest coming out of Oklahoma City, where Game 1 will be played between the Thunder and the Pacers. He is J.J. Buck. I am Jeff Symbieta. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call.
Well, the NBA Finals start tonight. It'll be game one, Indiana at Oklahoma City. The Knicks have kind of stolen the headlines by firing Tom Thibodeau. So one coaching vacancy was filled yesterday. The Phoenix Suns got their guy. Jordan Ott is the new head coach in Phoenix. He most recently was an assistant coach in Cleveland. JJ, they go young, they go new, they didn't go rehire, they go tactician, a guy that, I always like when new guys get their first opportunity. I'm down with that. Interesting situation that he's going to walk into because I believe Devin Booker's going to continue to stay there. No idea what that roster looks like because I'm 85% sure Kevin Durant will not be there opening day.
Yeah, you have an owner that's willing to go all in, but has a broken team that needs a rebuild. So where is the owner going to be comfortable with going? In terms of, are they going to be patient for a year or two to try to reset things for the franchise? Or are they just going to try to make big swings to just get more quote-unquote names in there? Because, again, you have a coach who's young. It's first opportunity. And you just need to know, all right, where is ownership comfortable with taking this team?
Yeah. All right, so then there's the Knicks. The names that surfaced immediately. Jay Wright. Now, Jay Wright hasn't come out and said he doesn't want the job, but plenty of people have said Jay Wright, the former Villanova coach, doesn't want the job on Jay Wright's behalf. Nothing from Jay Wright yet. Michael Malone. I think Michael Malone's absolutely interested in that job. Current head coaches. There's a lot of buzz about Ime Udoka, the former Celtics coach who is currently the head coach in Houston. Houston's front office has said, we will not grant permission for the Knicks to talk to our coach. No, he's our coach. He's under contract. There's reports that they're interested in Jason Kidd, who's the head coach in Dallas. Dallas is such an interesting thing right now with the number one pick going there, with what the situation is with Nico Harrison, and evidently Jason Kidd and Nico Harrison are still pretty tight. There was the Dan Hurley conversation. Remember last year the Lakers, by every report, offered Dan Hurley, the UConn coach, the job to be the Lakers head coach. According to reports, the Hartford Courant's Dana Moore said this, but this was a press conference yesterday. They're 2 days into summer workouts. And Hurley brushed off the question, about the Knicks Open by saying, not another summer of that. Well, you can end it right now by saying, yeah, I am not interested in that job. I'm the coach of UConn, right? Well, you want to end it? I mean, with all due respect, right? Did he say that?
No, left it open.
That's on you, bro. Like, help me understand. If you're interested in the job, this would be your answer, right? Not another summer of that. In the Dan Hurley, how can you ask me that question kind of a tone, right? What says, well, I mean, I'm going to listen if they call without saying, well, not another summer of that. As opposed to, no, we're not doing this again. Guys, I'm staying at UConn. I appreciate it. I appreciate my name being put out there, but I'm happy. I got a nice team here. We're really excited about what we got, and I'm not going to be the Knicks head coach. And done. You don't have to have another summer of that. Right? If it really bothers you, if it really was a distraction, if it was, we can't do this again. But you flew out there with your wife last year. I mean, not another summer of that. It's on somebody else. Like somebody else did this to you. You got on the plane. You and your wife went out to Los Angeles. You got wined and dined by Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss and the Laker brass, and you considered taking the job. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. There absolutely nothing wrong with that. He should have explored that opportunity. Ultimately, he decided to not take the job and stay in UConn, and good for him. And he got more money out of it. Like, I have no problem with the way he did it. But then the comment is, not another summer of that. I mean, you tell me what I'm misunderstanding here. Because if you don't want another summer of that, you can squelch it right here. End it. And they'll go on to somebody else.
You left the door open.
Fed the fuel. Or you fueled the fire. I just, fine. Then he went on and talked about it. Rick Pitino will not. You know what Rick Pitino said about it? The head coach at St. John's? Quote, absolutely not. He was at the Yankees game. They're playing the Guardians. He threw out the first pitch. I haven't seen the pitch yet. How do you do with the first pitch? Do you know?
I don't know.
He was on SNY, Sports New York. Quote, he was talking about Tom Thibodeau. I feel bad for Tibbs because I think he captured all of New York and built something very special. A lot of us don't comprehend what happened, but Tibbs is going to be well taken care of, and he'll move on to other pastures. Yeah, he's got $30 million coming to him. He's going to be just fine. Rick, are you interested in the Knicks job? Absolutely not. Okay, move on. It won't be another summer of that for Rick Pitino.
Not for Rick.
I mean, isn't that how you handle it? If you're not interested. And again, if you're interested, I got no problem that you're interested. It's a great opportunity. If your name's out there, if they actually come calling, I'll explore it. I got no issues. I don't think anybody would have an issue if an opportunity like that at the top of whatever your profession is. And you would say that's at the top of the profession, wouldn't you? Head coach of the Knicks, right? You're an East Coast guy. You're from Jersey. Pitino's from New York. Hurley's Jersey. Yeah, man. But the answer, how can you even ask me? Not another summer of that. You guys are going to ask me that? Well, yeah.
Well, that was the summer of you doing things.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I don't think there's people, and you know people like this. There's people in this world who are not happy unless they're unhappy, right? That they just have to have something to complain about. They got to have something to gripe about. And I preface this, Danny Hurley is a spectacularly fantastic basketball coach. Really, really good, top of his profession, as good as there is in the game. I kind of love his story. I kind of love how he got to where he is. But he seems as, and I again, another caveat, I don't know him nor do you, but his persona is of a guy who is not happy unless he's unhappy. That has to have something to gripe about. That somehow that motivates him. And he comes off as, pick your word, whatever it is, arrogant, a-hole, great guy. I mean, however you decipher it, right? But I just, you can control the narrative, man. You absolutely can control this. It's on you. And what you did is say basically to me, yeah, no, if they call, I'm listening. So I can turn them down again. By the way, and I said this yesterday, and I heard it countless times on other platforms yesterday. I don't think he would be good with the Knicks, and I just don't think it works with him in the NBA. I don't know that his style of coaching, and Kenny Thomas was talking about this when he was with us on Tuesday. I just don't know that his style works in the National Basketball with grown-ass men. Screaming, yelling, getting in your face, condescending. Just not sure that works. But we'll see. Or maybe we will see. All right. I guess I ate that whole segment talking about that, and I promised you Pacers and Oklahoma City. So we'll hit that when we get back to the latest of what's going on as far as the game tonight. 505-246-0610. It's, I want to say it was, last I looked, 9-point spread tonight. The Pacers over, it's 9.5, JJ. The Thunder over the Pacers. So if you want Indiana, you're going to get 9.5 points tonight, which I really kind of like. Over under 230 points. They expect some points to be scored. The latest on what's coming out of Oklahoma, get you ready for game one. Michael Sinclair, the former Eastern New Mexico Greyhound and Seahawk, will be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
If you've got a...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info,
please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe.
Maybe it's JJ because I want to be contrarian. Everything is Oklahoma City, and I like Oklahoma City, and I think they win the series. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Dang, everybody is not only on Thunder, the amount of sweep talk. I don't recall a final in anything. A World Series, a Stanley Cup, a NBA. I don't recall the amount of sweep talk, the absolute disrespect for the underdog. has been going on here. And so I'm going to go the other way in game one. For no other reason than that.
Can't take Indiana to win, but I'm taking the points.
Oklahoma City's a minus 700 favorite to win the finals. It's insane. In the past 20 years, only the Warriors in 2018 against the Cavaliers were a bigger betting favorite, and they were minus 1075, which is insanity. Make the case for Indiana. Because, I mean, I will after, but is there a case for Indiana?
There absolutely is a case for Indiana.
I think so, too.
You know, offensively, they're good enough to combat the defensive ability of the Oklahoma City Thunder to excel in the shootout potential, how dynamic both these offenses can be. And, you know, one of the things that I like about both these teams, and I know I've discussed a ton when we're talking about basketball, how depth can be overrated, is what some stories I was reading about this series. It's the fact that there's not a black hole on either team.
Right.
And, well, you have good pieces off the bench, and it's not to discredit the fact that you need players to step up. But what's impressive about both these teams is they have players that come in and continue what the starters do. They don't have to change their style of play. There's a ton of athleticism. There's shooting that comes off the bench. And I think that's what is very interesting about this series is you're going to see guys play minutes off the bench, but they don't have to necessarily change something. It's not, oh, we have, you know, a guard that just has to slow things down. Oh, we have this guy that has to come in, but he can't shoot, so we have to hide him here. No, the pieces are pretty seamless, and that's what makes these teams so intriguing and why, you know, you look at the over-under, it's going to be so high throughout the entire series. But for the Pacers, there's a confidence, there's a swagger that they have that absolutely matches Oklahoma City. And in sports, you need a little bit of luck. You need things to go your way. And Indiana is a team that they're down 20. They're going to be like, okay, no biggie. Because in the Eastern Conference, they ended up being the team of destiny, what they're going to do. And they've embraced this role, you know, with what, you know, Pascal Siakam was saying yesterday. Is like, hey, it's not new to us. Underdogs don't picking us. That's fine. Like, I love the confidence from both teams, and I think Indiana, because of their offense, I don't see them getting swept by Oklahoma City. I picked Oklahoma City in this series, but I don't think that if all of a sudden we're looking and this is maybe a 2-2 series, that I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, how could the Thunder have let this happen?
So I agree with all that. And I agree that Oklahoma City will win the series just because I think they're better. They're that good. But I don't think they're exponentially better like the world seems to think. If you wanted to make a case for Indiana, and I will, just to do it and why I think they have a chance to win a couple of games. I think there's going to be a game or two where Tyrese Halliburton gets hot and matches or maybe outscores or outduels Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If I'm not mistaken, JJ, the Pacers have the only person in the series who has a ring, correct? The only one who's been there in Pascal Siakam? Is there anybody on Oklahoma City who's been there and has the experience of being a champion?
No.
And you know I put a lot of value in doing that and having that experience. And so I think that in its own right gives them, I don't want to say advantage, but gives them a something. I believe that Nesmith, while Oklahoma City is the best defensive team in the NBA, statistically and eye testly, that's the thing, right? Which is crazy that the over-under is going to be high in every game. The point total is going to be high in every game when you say, okay, I got the best defensive team in the league and a team in Indiana that I think won in large part, although the numbers were big when it came down to it at times. I thought they played defense when they had to. I believe Nesmith gets into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and makes it difficult. I'm not saying takes him out, but I'm going to say at times can neutralize him to make somebody else beat you. Now that means Jalen Williams, and I don't know what the answer is there. I believe Siakam gets his. I believe somebody from Indiana, whoever it happens to be, whether it's Mathurin, whether it's Nesmith, whether it's Nembhard, and I said Nesmith on on Shea, but I met Nemhart. Not Neesmith. Nemhart on SGA. So I think they get a game. The advantage for Oklahoma City is just, to your point, there isn't a hole. And Caruso comes off the bench with so much energy. Williams scores. Shea scores. Hartenstein doesn't, but he facilitates. He rebounds. He gets the ball the right place. Holmgren might be the difference maker in the series, right?
When you have a player that has that high of a ceiling and he is the number 3 for OKC right now, that could be the difference in the series.
Does he guard Pascal Siakam? Because I could see that his length can frustrate Siakam a bit.
Even with Miles Turner on the floor, I think that what we've seen at Oklahoma City, they've gone smaller. It's been Caruso playing a ton of minutes, not a lot of Isaiah Hartenstein late in games, and so that puts Pascal and Chet one-on-one. I think they'll put Williams on him some just for a little bit more physicality.
Caruso's such an interesting thing. The fact that Dagnall put Caruso on Nikola Jokic in that series. And on the surface, if we'd have had this conversation 3 weeks ago, you're like, wow, Jokic is going to eat him up. I thought Caruso did a hell of a job on Jokic.
It's going to be interesting to see how they call it.
The officials. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because Caruso was fantastic. He also just beat up Jokic the entire. He wasn't allowed to do any of that, but they didn't call it because there's like small guy.
And he was allowed to do it, right?
So if they start blowing the whistle early on him, it changes. But they let him do what he did to Jokic. Yeah, he can be fine on Turner.
Yeah. All right, so that's where we are. Who do you like? I mean, everybody likes Oklahoma City, but call your series. It starts today. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. Caruso has a ring. Where did Caruso did get it? He got a bubble ring, didn't he? He did.
The Lakers.
Did. Yeah, you're right. Terry just sent me that on the text line. Caruso has a ring. He has the bubble ring, and which is a ring. It doesn't just blow up or pop or anything. It's a real ring. It matters. That championship happened. It goes on everybody's legacy. You're right. Caruso has a ring with the Lakers in the bubble in 2020. That's correct. All right. I didn't read this one to you yesterday. I forgot. The text line, 505-246-0610. This is off subject a bit. We were talking about the pitcher, Najeri Kennedy from Texas Tech, who got the $1 million NIL deal. And so I got a text that says, hey, Jeff, I guess she wasn't going to college for the education. She was going to get, from what I understand, there's a big difference between Stanford and Texas Tech educational reputation. But if she's going to college during a nice postgraduate, a nice living postgraduate, then she's off to a good start. All right, cool. And then the same number says, I'm here. They have the keys. I explained it to Paco. And then the next one says, sorry, wrong person. I guess he realized that Paco didn't get the message that he had the keys. Yeah, oops. We've all sent the wrong text to somebody. All right, 505-246-0610. Love your thoughts on where you are tonight with this series. Are you into it? Are you into watching Oklahoma City and Indiana? Or are you like Knicks fan? Well, the world ended as soon as the Knicks went out. You know, if you're from New York, nothing's happening tonight. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
NFL, and he may end up becoming your new favorite former player. Guy that left millions on the table. Why would you do it? We're going to get there coming up at 8 o'clock. 505-246-0610 is the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Miguel, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Miguel.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, you would think this Oklahoma City Thunder team, well, let me back up. I've never seen a team more disrespected than the Pacers right now.
Seriously.
You would think Oklahoma City is just going to roll out the ball and they're going to blow them out by 30 points every game. And look, I think Oklahoma City is going to win the series. I'm not going against the grain, but there's a couple of things. I mean, and yes, Indiana got blown out both times by Oklahoma City, but somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. One of those games was at the end of the year, and I think like playoff decisions were already, our spots were already taken, and it was like I won't say a throwaway game, but I don't know how hard everybody played. And I know this. I know Chet Holmgren didn't play in either game against the Pacers, so that's going to be interesting to watch to see how they adjust to that. But I have to believe, you know, I'm sitting here and I don't have time to listen to NBA talk all day long, but like I said, everything I listen to is what you guys are saying. Indiana's got no chance. I got to believe, again, these tangibles. Indiana's they're listening to this. They know that they think they know what they're up against. I got to believe they're going to come out guns a-blazing. They're not just going to roll over, and they're a very competitive team. They have a good bench. Nobody's talking about their bench. T.J. McConnell comes off the bench. Mathurin is very good off the bench. Bryant, every once in a while, he's a hell of a hustler. Mm-hmm. I just think this. Real quick, I'll cut to the chase. I think this game goes at least. I'm going to say Oklahoma City in 6 games.
All right. Thanks, Miguel. I appreciate it. And I think it's a great phone call. So they played. Were 9 games left in the regular season. They played in Oklahoma. So the Pacers were still playing for positioning at that point. And Oklahoma City whooped them 132-111. SGA had 33 points in that game. They played the day after Christmas in Indiana, obviously still with a lot on the line, and Oklahoma City won 120-114. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the road had 45 points in that game. So if that means anything to you, and Indiana was leading going into the third, and Oklahoma City outscored them 37-30 in the third quarter. In that game, Nembhard led Indiana in scoring with 23. Pascal had 22. Halliburton was held to 4 points in 35 minutes. Now, look, if that is something that happens here, I don't see a path for Indiana. Right? The games that they win, Halliburton took 6 shots in that game back in December. And again, I don't want to blow up a game on December 26th between these two teams that we were all watching the NFL and college football bowl games, and none of us saw this game, right? But whatever that means to you, there's your comparative. But I agree with Miguel, man. At some point, you sit in a locker room and you're pros, and you're like, wait a minute, didn't we just hoist a trophy? Aren't we the Eastern Conference? We went through the entire East, and we have no chance. That's why if I think they're going to pick one off, why not game one? Why not game one where everybody's loving on Oklahoma City and nobody sees this coming? I'm not sure I'd bet a money line, but I might. I mean, there's no reason to bet Oklahoma City money line because there's nothing to win there. I'd take them with the 9.5, and I'd consider betting the money line.
Yeah, I think there's going to be plenty of close games early in the series. Like, the offense from Indiana is good enough to push this defense of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I think that's right. I really do. But we'll watch it. It seems everybody's healthy, right? And that's the other thing. I mean, when do you get here and everybody seems healthy? Is there an injury that
Nothing that changes your thoughts dramatically with anything.
What do you got?
I mean, just knees and ankles.
Yeah. I mean, dudes that have been playing for the last 10 months and that are banged up and they're playing every other night, and they just got a week to rest. But other than that, I mean, look, it's the us versus them attitude that Indiana's dealing with, right? Halliburton said, you want to go through the best team, the best challenge. This is the best challenge. They're the best team in the NBA. They've been the best team in the NBA all year. They're well coached. They do everything well. No shortcuts to beating this team. We know the odds are stacked against us. It is what it is. We want to be here. We want to go against the best. This is the best. We look forward to the challenge as a group. Okay. Now, let's see what conversation we're having a week from now. If they get taken apart I mean, are we listening to Rick Carlisle's going to get fired and we're going to rip apart the Pacers and they
got to blow it up,
right?
Got to blow it up.
Everybody who gets eliminated, you got to blow up.
Yes. Now you get it.
The Lakers, you got to blow them up. The Knicks, you got to blow them up. What are you going to do
what
about
else are you
Boston?
supposed to talk about? Actually have intriguing conversation? Nope.
Cleveland. I mean, best team in the East. Be happy, but they're not good enough. You got to blow them
Blow it up.
Detroit, who
so easy to just acquire all these superstars in a trade.
Of course it is, and of course that's the formula, right? Just acquire superstars. I mean, just go, maybe add Bradley Beal to Kevin Durant and Devin Booker because that'll guarantee. Wait, you didn't make the playoffs? Isn't it wild that team didn't? Now I understand Bradley Beal barely played. That's the worst contract in the NBA, right?
Yes.
Like the worst. Yes.
Because there's also a no trade clause.
Yes. That story is going to be the antithesis of the story I tell you when we come back. Because that dude's sitting there and, I mean, I don't know. You define stealing money to me. Is that close to it?
No.
All right. Other dudes have stolen money more? They have. All right, when we come back, we're going to get into some NFL stuff. Camps are going to open soon. But we're going to talk about a guy who's not going to be in camp. And I've told you over the years that this quarterback is one of my favorite people. Just the few times that I'd met him, he actually came to the game, New Mexico Bowl, when I believe he was a freshman but did not play. But over the years, I'd met Derek Carr, spent some time with him, and probably not a nicer guy. And you've seen his public persona, you know what it is. They loved him in Las Vegas, and in Oakland too, right? He retired last month. Didn't have to. Had a lot of money sitting on the line. I want to walk you through what he walked away from. And I'd love to hear what word you put on that. Is it stupid? Is it respect? Is it admiration? Is it astonishment? I'll tell you the story and how much money was sitting on the table and what he had to do to get it. And instead, he's hanging on the beach with his kids and loving it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own
Sports Animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Zimbietta and JJ Buck.
Game 1, NBA Finals tonight. It'll be in Oklahoma. Right down I-40. I mean, it's an easy drive. Just get on I-40 and go. You'll be there. Pacers and Thunder tonight. Game 1, 9.5 points spread. The Thunder are your favorites. Last night, Game 1 Stanley Cup final. Phenomenal. Leon Draisaitl with the game winner. It was Connor McDavid who fed him late in the first overtime. 4-3. Oilers over the Panthers. Edmonton has a 1-0 lead in that series. Game 2 will be up in Canada, Edmonton, Alberta. And the softball last night, the College Softball World Series, on an attempted intentional walk, Texas Tech's pitcher Najeri Kennedy threw one right down the pipe, and Reese Atwood of Texas, who had not had a hit in the College World Series, swung on a 3-0 intentional walk pitch, slapped it through the left side, 2-run score. Longhorns over the Red Raiders 2-1. That was the difference. It was just bonkers ending. Just bonkers to comprehend what you had just watched. Thanks for being with us on a Thursday. Michael Sinclair is going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning, the former Eastern New Mexico football star who played 11 seasons in the National Football League with the Seahawks mostly. He's going to join us. He's going to the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame coming up at the end of the month. That'll be 9 o'clock this morning. We got tickets, JJ, to give away today. We're going to do that coming up at 8:25. Tyler Childers on the road with special guest Hayes Carl. It's tonight. It is tonight at the Isleta Amphitheater. We'll give away those tickets. They'll be emailed to you. 8:25 this morning is when we're going to do that. All right. You know I've always been a Derek Carr fan, right? Just because I've had the fortune, especially guys who've come up in the Mountain West and guys who've been in our game, as we get ready to celebrate the 20th Isleta New Mexico Bowl. There's a lot of guys who've come through here. But you know,
who is the quarterback? The 20th anniversary team.
I don't know that. Oh, the all-time 20th? Well, I think what we're going to do is 2 decade teams. Like we did a decade team. I believe might have been Connor Halliday. I'll tell you what, last year, TCU, the guy put up some. We've been looking at, who would you have the quarterback? You'd have to go back and look. There's been some number. I mean, Jordan Love.
Take a little bit of time.
Jordan Love was pretty good. He was pretty good. But you know I've always liked Derek Carr. I think you have too, right?
Fine gentleman.
I think that's right. And he's always been a good quarterback, if not great. So Derek Carr retired last month from the National Football League. He said, look, he could have had surgery on his shoulder. And look, I got to believe 95% of people would have done this way. Would have had the shoulder, had the surgery, and probably would have stuck around because, well, it's going to take me a year to rehab. And he was due to make $30 million this year. $30 million this year. I know quarterback money, that's pittance. But for you and me money, that's, I think for most people, look, I've never had $195 million, but I'm going to guess another 30 I would enjoy no matter what my situation is, another $30 million. He had 2 years left on a 4-year, $150 million deal. So he was set to make 30 this year. I want to say 35 next year. He could have, JJ, had the shoulder. He could have said, you know what, I'm going to rehab the shoulder. Let's see if I can get this done, and stuck around, made the money. He could have had the surgery, stuck around, been in the room, made the money. But he didn't. He said he didn't want to have the surgery, and he knew he was walking away. He said, quote, that part was tough because I didn't want to have surgery and just sit there. And it sounds crazy, but just take the Saints' money, end quote. I want you to find me an instance in recent memory, or hell, non-recent memory, where the athlete said, you know what, I just don't want to take the team's money. I'm not, we used the term stealing money earlier, right? Give me an instance where a player said, yeah, I'm not at my best. I'm good. He got a $10 million roster bonus. He's made $196 million since joining the league. Do you have one? Do you have? I mean, I can't think of a guy saying, you know, I'm good. I don't want to take your money. When he could have stuck around, have this. He was injured. He could have sat there on the sidelines and made $30 million.
I also think he just didn't want to play anymore.
Right.
Like, to me, that's bigger than. So he has the surgery, sits out next year, and then just walks away to get $30 million. Like, oh yes, that's on the table, but it just sounds like he didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah,
as opposed to
but even
not
if
wanting to. Yeah, he can come out and say, "Oh, I'm saving the Saints money."
JJ, even if he didn't want to play, he could have stuck around because he was injured and made $30 million.
But you still have to go through the motions.
Go through the motions,
and I think part of that is he didn't want to go through the motions anymore, even doing nothing to get $30 million.
Yeah, he was on Front Office Sports. He said, "quote I never played just for the money. I had a whole bunch of people tell me how crazy I was, and man, I would never have done that. That's all cool, but I've gained all these things that the world has to offer, and it doesn't really do anything for your heart. I knew my heart was at peace, and that's really all that mattered." And again, JJ, don't you think 95% of dudes would have gone through the motions and taken $30 million for a year and then retired next summer? So I can't get back. I'm not there. He said he wanted to do something that benefited both parties. He said he couldn't have played at the level that needed if he didn't go through surgery, and he didn't want to have the surgery. He said he's not close to 100%. He said it was the right thing to step away. Quote, my agent literally texted me a few days ago and said, hey, just checking in. How's everything? You still feel comfortable with the decision? And I sent him a picture of me on the beach with my 2 kids playing, and I said, this beats an OTA any day. And he said, yeah, I thought so. So I'm doing great and have thoroughly enjoyed being home. End quote. To your point, does it sound like he was done? Yeah, it sounds like he was done.
Because it's doing nothing to get $30 million, but you're at the facility, you have to rehab, you have to do everything on their timeline.
I'm going to guess you still have to rehab your shoulder if it's injured. It's $30 million.
Yeah, but if you're not rehabbing at the facility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when we're seeing it with Trayvon Diggs, like they're finding him.
You're right. Okay. But again, $30 million.
They also let him keep 10. So there's that.
Well, he had the roster bonus. Yeah. Because he was there. So he retired after, I believe, he earned his roster bonus. I don't know, man. It'd have been hard to say, you know what, I'm going to rehab this thing. Maybe we're going to live in New Orleans for one more football season. I'm going to rehab. I'm going to see. we're going to make $30 million and we'll make the decision in January. All right, then we walk away. $30 million. So you think I'm overvaluing the
I don't think
humanity
you're
of this.
overvaluing. I think this is a rare situation.
Yeah.
It's just the timing of it all.
Yeah.
Of a guy that's realizing I'm done while at the same time looking at a chance to get $30 million for nothing.
You know, the other side is he could have had the surgery and see how, he got back to 100%.
He would have if he wanted to play football still.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think he kind of, the fire burns and the fire doesn't burn. This is a guy who feels like he's very spiritual. He's been very outward and open about his faith, and he's very spiritual. And like he said, I've got everything. My heart's full. I got I made $196 million. It's a lot of money. Walks away from a room, and look, maybe if he was on the Saints or maybe a roster that looked better than this one does. And I feel bad for Kellen Moore walking into this, but he walks away. There's Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener, and Tyler Shupp. Starter's going to be who? Spencer Rattler? I mean, they're not going to give it to the rookie, do you think? Maybe. Why not?
Absolutely.
No, why not? Why not? I mean, you got Kamara, you got Olave, you got some weapons there.
Yeah, this is
if you can
one
protect
where
him.
it's for shuck, sink or swim.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it's another Manning quarterback in the Saints next year.
It might be. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a real chance that doesn't Arch have to do something in college before he becomes the number one pick?
Of course not. His last name is Manning.
So because he's in the royal family of football, he's going to be the number one pick. Yeah, I mean, he's set up for failure. If he doesn't. We'll see, man. He's Texas quarterback this year, right? They open up against Ohio State, right, at the Horseshoe?
Yes, they do.
Welcome to starting college football, young. I mean, he's shown flashes. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't shown me anything that says you're the number one overall pick other than the name on his back. But he's a Manning. All right, 505. It's crazy, isn't it? 505-246-0610. Speaking of Ohio State, their head coach is going to tell you why the Big Ten absolutely deserves guaranteed 4 spots in the college football playoff. Not sure you're going to buy it, but I'm going to tell you what Ryan Day, the defending national championship head coach, had to say about the extension of the college football playoff. Hey, shopping for rings, shopping for jewelry, thinking about it? Just want to go see some stuff? John Thomas Jewelers is the place. John Thomas Jewelers is my jeweler. They are the best jeweler in Albuquerque, the fastest growing jeweler in New Mexico, the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town, and the only place you can get a free lifetime nationwide warranty in Albuquerque. All right, all that's great, but what makes them so wonderful? Well, the service, first of all, the selection, the fact that they've got 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings right now for you to go in and try on and take a look at. And if they don't have exactly what it is you're looking for, even if you don't know what you're looking for, they'll walk you through the process and they'll create it. They've got an on-site, state-of-the-art design center. They'll make whatever it is you want. If you're looking for an anniversary ring, an engagement ring, a graduation gift, just something special, maybe something for you, go by and see why they are the best. They've been named the coolest jewelry store in America by In-Store Magazine. So many reasons to see for yourself why John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in town. They were my jeweler the second I walked in the door. I know John Thomas Jewelers will be yours as well. Visit them on Louisiana. They're 1 block south of Banal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
College football. What's the format for the playoff going to look like moving forward? What's going on with the Mountain West and PAC mediation? JJ, every day that goes by, more and more people are telling me what's happened that just don't know what's going on. Everybody with a thumb has got an opinion. Although it really feels on the Pac-12 Mountain West negotiation, people are getting nervous. The fact that we are almost through, this is what now, Thursday of the 3rd week of mediation. And there's no smoke coming out of the chimney. There's been no real whispers. The media ran, J.D. Wicker, the athletic director at San Diego State, spoke like 3-4 weeks ago at a donor function, and somebody captured it on a cell phone, and that's like the only comment anybody's had, and it's been used in every story written about this. Well, J.D. Wicker said San Diego State, they're going to be good, and he's happy where they are. It feels like, and maybe you're looking at different threads than I'm looking at, and you probably are. People on both sides feel like they're getting a little nervous, and they're both trying to make a case that if you're a PAC school or you're a Mountain West school, that the fact that this is going on so long is an advantage for them.
It is one where I think the Mountain West, and you've said it multiple times, has a floor that they're not going to drop below, was willing to come to the table and discuss the exit fees but the exit fees plus are not going anywhere. And the Pac, I think the teams that left thought this was going to be so much easier and they were going to have a lot more power, whether it was to convince teams to join them or to be able to get in that room and be like, oh, we don't have to pay these fees.
Even though we signed that we would. Yeah. I again, that's the only thing I could surmise. And talking to, I've talked to a couple of athletic directors whose schools are involved in this mediation. It feels like that's kind of where this is, although I don't have anything definitive. I believe that they went in and the Pac wanted to get that number way down, certainly in 8 digits as opposed to 9, right? The exit fees. I think the number that would be initially due if you went by the contracts was like $155 million that would be due from the Pac to the Mountain West and in regards to exit fees and poaching fees. And I think that there's a floor where the Mountain West, and I said, when I talked to an athletic director, I said, so he kind of, wasn't really giving anything, and not that I was digging. And I said, well, I mean, I would assume you guys went in with somewhere about what $120 million, and we're not going to, we can settle it here. And he says, yeah, probably about 115, 110. So okay, from 150, but they're not going down to 50 million or 40 million. They're just not doing that. Nor do I believe they should. First of all, they can't meet their financial obligations to Air Force and UNLV if they do that. And secondly, I don't believe they should.
No, and I'd be looking right at Oregon State and Washington State in this process and going, well, how did you guys have all of this money to lure the teams? What happened when teams left you?
Yeah, you got
and the way you acted,
and you got this money that now, you did to us what was done to you, and you use that money to rebuild your league. Well, that's what we're going to have to do. You're going to have to pay us so we can, because you took all of our teams, and we got to rebuild our league. So we'll see. I don't know when we get something. I mean, I would have sworn we had something by now, but we don't. Meanwhile, there's a lot of talk about the college football playoff and the format moving forward and what that will look like. And I know you've heard all kinds of different things, 5+11, which would be 5, the highest ranked 5 conference champions, which would then make sure that a group of 5 team was included, and then 11 at larges. There's a 4-4-2-2-1-1. It was 4 and 4 is 8 and 2. So 4, it would be 4-4-2-2. That's 12. Plus 1 is 13. So the 4 would be 4 Big 10, 4 Big SEC, 2 ACC, 2 Big 12, 1 group of 5, and then 2 or 3 at large, or whatever number fills out 16. Jason Day is the head coach of the defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. Jason Day was speaking the other day about why
Ryan.
I keep saying Jason because Jason's the golfer and Ryan is the head coach.
Good underdog pick next weekend.
Yeah, Ryan Day is the head coach at thank you at Ohio State. Jason Day is a Australian golfer who's going to be in the U.S. Open next week. Ryan Day, thank you. I wonder if Jason Day can coach football or football. Probably a better chance of football than football. I mean, maybe. Ryan Day is your guy, and thank you, and I apologize. Making the case. Before I get here, I am not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of guaranteed 4 for each league. I think they're going to get it because that's what they want, and they rule the world. But I'm going to use a term that's been tossed around in politics, but it should be meritocracy, right? It should be merit-based. I think most years you're going to get 3 to 4 anyway out of those leagues, but there's going to be a year where there's a Big 12 team or 3 ACC, whatever it happens to be. Are you a fan of guaranteeing 4 for each of those 2 leagues?
I think this is a situation where they'll get it without it being guaranteed. Like the teams that are going to be in that conversation are going to be from the Big Ten and SEC, and they'll end up getting the majority of those spots without it being guaranteed.
As at-larges, right? Yeah, I think so. Here's why Ryan Day believes that the Big 12 should be guaranteed 4. Quote, we're in the Big 10. Did I say Big 12? The Big 10 deserves a quote. We're in the Big 10. and we have 18 teams and some of the best programs in the country. I feel like we deserve at least 4 automatic qualifiers. It's part of his quote. He talked about the exposure that they added teams from the old Pac-12, including the only 2 teams, Oregon and Washington, from the former Pac-12 who made the college football playoff and played for national titles. Quote, if you don't have those automatic qualifiers, you're less likely to play a game like we're playing this year against Texas because it just won't make sense. If we do, then you're more likely to do that because we play 9 conference games in the Big Ten. The SEC doesn't, so it's not equal. You convinced? There you go.
The scheduling cop-out.
Yes. You can play them anyway.
Whether it was at large or guaranteed, you play that game anyway. That's how you build your resume, regardless. That's just a straight cop-out, and hate that from coaches that want to run away from big-time games in any sport. Hate that. So that has nothing to do with automatic qualifier, which it would help you either way playing and winning that game.
Yes.
The one thing I do agree with him, and it's the reality, and people scream, oh, how can you have 12 Big Ten teams in the NCAA tournament? Or are these 13 or 14? Because those conferences are bigger and they've absorbed other teams. That's a straight fact. Like, I'm not as upset about that.
A conference with 18 teams has more than a conference with 10.
Yeah. Like, it's just
understood.
Like, that is just the way it's going to be.
Now they have 13,
especially when you get like a Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC, or like these are tournament-worthy teams in other sports, and that's why those numbers are so big.
Okay. So does that then equate to the college football playoff? And I think it would anyway. I mean, let's be real. We're looking at 16 teams. There's going to be, what are there, 9 conferences? There's 10 conferences? How many? There's 10. There's 10. There's 4 power conferences, really 2, then 2 power lights. Is that? I mean, I don't know how else. How do you describe the difference between the SEC and the Big Ten, and the Big 12 and the ACC?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to call one their super power conferences
power
or
light.
power light? Like what? I mean, and then the others are group of 6, right? The term group of 5, it's not power 5 anymore, and it's not group of 5. It's going to be group of 6 because the Pac, as much as San Diego State, Boise State, Oregon State, Washington State want to consider themselves a power conference or an autonomous 5, or somebody from the league, referred to them, we'd like to be with other autonomous 5 leagues. It's autonomous 4, and there's group of 6. So obviously the group of 6 is not going to be represented proportionally, right? And the argument, now I if you wanted to tell me, and this is why I wish we had more than a sample size of 1 before blowing this whole thing up. I want to see, and Liberty getting blown out in the Fiesta Bowl 2 years ago is not an example of me. But I want to see how historically would be, I don't know, a sample size of at least 5. The group of 5 representative performs in the college football playoff. Now, if they go 0-5 and get beat by an average of 21 points, okay, we can have a conversation. But if they go 2-3 and their losses are by an average of, 8 points, is it fair to have a conversation about a second one? Guaranteeing a second spot if you're going to expand to 16. I know nobody in the world is talking about this. But would it be fair if you had a fair sample size and the group of 6 representative is performing well, representing themselves admirably, hell, maybe even one year competing, in the national semifinal or whatever? Would it be, it'll never get through that room, but would it be a fair conversation to say, hey, let's find a way to get a second one in there?
Yes, it's something that would absolutely be fair to bring up and immediately shot down by
100%. 100%. I mean, the networks wouldn't want it. What do you mean we're going to have Arkansas State in there? Because then I think what you would do is go 6, the highest 6 conference champions, right? But I'm just saying, that's why I hate that we're blowing this whole thing up after a sample size of 1. But we are. All right, 505-246-0610, former Eastern New Mexico star, Seattle Seahawks star, Michael Sinclair is going to the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame. Is going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Looking forward to catching up with him. Right now, we're going to give away 2 tickets. There's a show tonight out at the Isleta Amphitheater. Tyler Childers on the road with special guest Hayes Carl. The show's tonight. It's at 8 o'clock. If you win, you'll get the tickets emailed to you. All of this week's winners will qualify to win the exclusive Bud Light Backyard Deck opportunity. 505-246-0610. Now, caller number 3, you are going to go to the show tonight. 505-246-0610. Call now. Caller 3 is going to see Tyler Childers tonight, courtesy of your friend J.J. Buck at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts.
All of you who won, enjoy the Tyler Childress show tonight. Hayes Carl will be out there as well at the Isleta Amphitheater. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com and JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. College football 85 days-ish away, and ESPN's putting out they got the ESPN Power Index, and they put out their playoff odds for the group of five. And again, Boise State leads the way as far as the number one odds. Tulane is got the second, but they have Boise State at a 25.2% chance of making the playoff as the group of five representative. And Tulane is number 2 at 24.3%. So almost a wash. I mean, within a percentage point. JJ, Boise State, the most likely team according to this, and the Tulane number 2, second most likely to represent the group of five. Do you know who the third pick is?
It's your boys.
Yeah, UNLV. At 21.3%. So between the three of those schools, Boise State, Tulane, and I'm just telling you, people are buying into UNLV. This index is projecting them at 9.7 wins. I don't know how you get 9.7, but so obviously over 9 wins. That is what, 70% chance it's one of those three. The other one's listed in order: Memphis, Liberty, Toledo. My good friends at Louisiana, South Florida, UTSA, and Navy. That's who's projected. We'll see. We'll see. All right, 505-246-0610. Lewis, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Lewis.
Hey, good morning. So I am really sick of hearing about the automatic bids. I just don't believe there should be any automatic bids. I mean, why even have a playoff? Half of it's going to be automatic bids. I think what these 4 conferences need to do, and I'm sure they want to do it, I don't know what all the mechanics of it are, is just break away, and that's Division I Super A or something, because I just don't believe in automatic bids. I mean, it takes away the whole reason of playing a season, basically.
Do you believe conference champions should get an automatic bid?
No, I don't think there should be any automatic bids.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if you're a conference champion of the Big Ten, you're going to be in the playoff.
That's correct.
If you're the conference champion of the SEC,
that's correct.
You're going to be in the in the playoff, and the top 2 or 3 or 4 teams in each of those leagues are probably going to be in the playoff, even if it stays at 12 teams.
Yep.
Maybe not 4 teams, but 3 teams at least. You're going to be in. But to give you an automatic bid, I just don't believe it.
Well, I don't believe in 4. Yeah, I'm with you on the 4.
Did that?
Yeah.
Started the season. Okay, here's the 8 teams. You're going to make the playoffs no matter what. What's the incentive to scheduling?
Well, one of the biggest things college football always hung its hat on was it was the most relevant regular season in sport, right? The regular season mattered. And I know all of us in college football, there was a big pride in that, and there was a priority to try to keep that. And I don't know that that's been kept if you're going to 16. I just, you can lose 3 games, maybe even 4, and get into the playoff.
Was it last year Alabama lost 3 games, and
they got left
still
out.
Talk of them making the playoff?
Yeah. But they got left out.
I don't know what that has to do with the automatic bid thing, but I just don't believe that you should. Come on. If you're in the Big Ten and you're going to be in the top 2 or 3 teams in the league, you're going to make it.
Yep.
You have to have something to play for. I just don't believe it. I really, I'm sick of this whole thing. But I mean, I watch. That's the problem.
We all watch.
That's why they keep doing it, because we watch
we
spend money on it.
Yep.
We go to the bowl games. We buy merchandise. We go to the regular season games. It's hard for us not to do that, and these people know it.
Yep.
They know it.
Yep, and that's why they're expanding it. Yeah, I look. I think 12.
Okay, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm a big. This. I thought 12 was right, and I believe, and I still believe. I know it's getting expanded, but I firmly believe that they should have let 12 play out for a while. That a sample size of 1 just, to me, isn't enough to say, look, it didn't work, or we got to do that. Because we're going to sit here after this year and next year. This year's going to be 12. Next year, they're probably expanding to 16. And there's going to be glitches that we didn't foresee. 17 is still going to be left out, and there's a good chance number 16 in the rankings is left out if the group of 5 team is below ranked 16. So they're going to lose their mind. Well, we should get in, and why the hell
but
did...
that's never going away.
No, it's never going away.
If it's 4, it's part of sport discussion. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
That's the segment to kill. For me, it's just the reality that, college football, all right, you lost that lore, but it's still college football. You're watching.
We're all watching.
It's America. What do? We do playoffs.
No, we
That's
love
what we
it.
do.
Last year, just for perspective, there were 12 teams. 1 team got in with 3 losses, and that was Clemson. And the only reason they got in is because they won the automatic bid with the ACC championship. They won the ACC championship game, and they were the lowest ranked team. They were lowest seeded team. They were seeded 12th, and they got beat by Texas. And so the next seeded team got left out. If that makes sense. I'm with the caller. I think that for the most part, it was going to play out anyway. Like, do you need the automatic bids? And the answer is probably no. Right? Clemson was seeded 12th, but they were ranked 16th. Alabama was ranked 11th. They didn't get in because 12th ranked Arizona State won the Big 12. So they're fixing that to some respect. But what he's saying is, Clemson wouldn't have got in as a champion.
I'm fine with conference champions.
I am too. I am, and those are the automatic bids. I'm fine with conference champions getting in as well. And that way you assure that at least 5 different conferences are represented.
And then in that regard, you're still playing for something.
I think that's right. Because, well, the ACC still would have been represented last year Well, if you were 16, so Clemson was 16 and SMU would have gotten in as well. The Big 12 just would have had Arizona State, right? BYU was ranked 17th in the final poll. South Carolina would have got in, Ole Miss would have got in, Miami would have got in, and Alabama would have got in. Those are your 4 additional teams. If you were at 16 last year, Alabama, Miami, Ole Miss, and South Carolina. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the auto bid either, but it doesn't really matter what you and I are a big fan of, if that makes any sense. All right, 505-246-0610. A little baseball for you when we get back. Rockies are on a roll, man. I mean, a roll. Tope's win streak came to an end last night, and coming up at 9 o'clock, Michael Sinclair is going to be with us. Michael is the former Eastern New Mexico star, was drafted in the NFL, had a terrific career, and is going into the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame coming up here in a few weeks. Going to catch up with him. His story is a really good one. We'll talk to him coming up at 9 o'clock. How's your car? Right? It just got rained on. You got mud in it. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will come out and take care of that for you. It's one of your biggest investments. You spend a lot of time in your vehicle. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will help you enjoy it and take care of one of your biggest investments. You're driving around with mud and junk and French fries and whatever that stuff is. What is detailing? People, I don't know. I've ever had my car detailed. Detailing is like that new car clean. That's when they get in there in every crevice, any nook, every cranny, and they detail your vehicle. This is what the car dealers do. So when you took your car home the day you bought it, it was detailed. You can get that new car smell, that new car feel without the new car price. Plus, you're protecting one of your biggest investments. And they come to you. They detail your vehicle at your convenience, where it works for you, when it works for you, and they're best in the city. Because, well, they're best in the city. That's why they won the award. Talk to them about their ceramic coating, their paint protection film. It'll protect against rock chips and bugs and road debris. Keep your car looking, feeling, smelling great. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is also a great gift. You can book and buy. It's all online at otsdetailing.com. Find them at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell.
It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame induction coming up later this month. Emails coming in from you and text. The text line says, hey, fellas, June 24th, Dodgers begin a 3-game series with quite possibly the absolute worst team in Major League Baseball, the Colorado Rockies. Dodgers should sweep this one, no doubt. Go Dodgers. I don't know, man. The Rockies are hot. 3 in a row. JJ's club won last night, again 3-2 in Miami, swept the Marlins. I mean, should they sweep them? All I know is you won 3 in a row for the first time in forever. Next up is a day off here, and the Mets. You get a homestand with the Mets and the Giants coming into town. Mets are playing well. They just swept you in New York. So a day off today.
Revenge series.
Sweep.
Chance to prove how you are against the best
in
the National League.
There you go.
And there's only one team, the longer winning streak. That's Baltimore Orioles. Won 5 in a row. They're trying to get back on track.
Is that right? They have the second longest win streak in the bigs right now?
Yeah.
The Rockies
tied with the Twins.
All right.
And Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
It's the start of the most amazing 3 months you're going to see in Major League Baseball.
Bruce just replied to Tony Sanchez, the New Mexico State coach who was on yesterday with us. Jeff replying to Tony the Tiger, New Mexico State doesn't kill themselves early. They don't play Tennessee until November 15th. Could we see the OD reemergence of Jason and Jerome and their football school if the Aggies are undefeated September 27th going into University Stadium? Could the Aggies be undefeated, JJ, going into that? I mean, could they be? It should beat Bryant. Tulsa out of the American comes in. Tulsa and I think Louisiana Tech will be all right. I'm not going to sit here and predict undefeated. But can they win the first 3 games? Yeah, sure they can win those. Going down playing a conference game in Ruston, Louisiana against Louisiana Tech and Sonny Crumby's team. I don't know. I haven't done enough research to see what those teams are. Mike says, what are we doing, Jeff Alou? Texas Tech softball had a $105,000 of ticket revenue in 2024. Expenses were $3.6 million. And then folks wonder why these schools need $150 million budgets. What are we doing? Texas Tech softball had expenses for softball, $3.6 million. And their ticket revenue was, I mean, I don't know, Mike, what are we doing? Show me a school. Now, this may be slanted, and you decide if they win a national championship, if it's worth it. I'm going to guess every softball budget in America is their expenses outweigh their revenue. Every single one. That's why Texas Tech football is pulling in how many millions of dollars? I mean, you've heard for years football, men's basketball support softball and golf and everything else. You know that. I don't think this is like something. Now, is it slanted? Yeah. That might be an extreme. All right, New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame induction is coming up at the end of the month. We're going to introduce you to the people who are going in as we go through this month. It's going to be on the 29th. Michael Sinclair was the All-America at Eastern New Mexico, had a 11-year career in the NFL. He's going in. He's going to be with us coming up next. Conversation with Michael Sinclair on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
My coach, my teacher, my old.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my...
Now, the sports animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, looking forward to a big night coming up here in a few weeks. June 29th, it's a Sunday, over at the Convention Center. The 2024 class of the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame will be inducted at the big banquet. You can be part of it. All the information is on the website, nmshof.org. I'll MC that event. Looking forward to it because it's always a great night. Alana Nichols and Roy Cooper, Steve Loy, and then a pair of former Seahawks, Fred Young and Michael Sinclair, are going to go and bring your Seahawks gear. Dan will be out there as well. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. And I always enjoy when these classes come out and you start thinking about some of the players, some of the people, some of the coaches, the people who have made the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame. And then you start looking through the past inductees and you realize, wow, there have been just legends. And I think this class of legends is really impressive as well. And Michael Sinclair is certainly fits that category. And there's a lot of paths to the NFL, to the NBA, to wherever. And Michael was a All-America at Eastern New Mexico. He was the 1990 AP Little All-America at Eastern. He was drafted in the 6th round of the 1991 draft by the Seahawks and spent 11 years in the National Football League, and he'll be inducted to the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame on the 29th. And Michael Sinclair joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Michael. How you doing?
I'm good, and you guys?
We're good, thank you. First off, congratulations, man. I know you've been in the Eastern New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame, but going to the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame means what to you?
Well, it means I had a lot of help getting there in terms of coaches, in terms of teammates, high school coaches. I had all the people that were part of this, my journey, personal journey. That's what it means to me.
Yeah, from Beaumont, Texas, to Portales, New Mexico, to Seattle, and then coaching in the National Football League. You're growing up in Beaumont, playing at Charlton Pollard. Did you dream of the NFL at that point? I mean, you probably dreamed of it. Was it realistic? And then as you were going playing college ball at Eastern.
Well, I mean, when you take the Golden Triangle at that time and all the players that come out of Beaumont, especially NFL players.
Yeah.
There's a lot. But personally, I never dreamed about that because I didn't start this journey, the football journey, until I was a junior in high school. So I never thought about any football, really. You know, it was just something, hey, I was a track kid. I was in the band. One day, high school coach, football coach said, hey, son, you're tall, you're skinny, and you're fast. there's no way I'm going to have you say no to me. You're going to go home. You're going to come back in 2 days, and you're going to try for the football team. So at that point, it was just, yes, sir. That's what I'll do. And it's been, it's been history ever since.
What instrument did you play in the band?
I was in percussion. I played the drums.
No.
Drum guys, they get a lot of attention, the drum line.
Yeah. All right, so did you put down the drums, you go to Eastern. Talk about your experience at Eastern New Mexico playing football in Portales.
It was the time when Donnie Carthel, man, they were recruiting there. Golden Triangle, Houston, San Antonio, the Dallas area. They were recruiting those places in Texas really hard. I took a trip. It was one of those things where, hey, okay, I'll go. I'm not going there, but I'll go. But, end up taking a visit, getting into a scuffle with another kid that was going to A&I. That's where I was going. I said, okay, you can go to A&I, and I'll go to Eastern. And that's how I got to Eastern. But, once I got there and built, some chemistry with some guys, we're 18, 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Build that type of chemistry. It's probably one of the best decisions that I can say right now at 57 years old that I've made in my life.
That's so cool. He's Michael Sinclair, former Eastern New Mexico football star, 11 years in the NFL with the Seahawks and the Eagles. He's going into the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Mike, obviously you're a fantastic talent to be able to pick up football as junior or high school and then have an excellent NFL career. Did it take you some time to fall in love with the game, or did you just really click with football once you started playing?
Well, when I look back at it now, my football has all been, bathed in obscurity, from Beaumont to Portales. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
To Seattle, because Seattle wasn't highlighted in those years.
That's right.
You didn't get on TV a lot, and of course, they didn't have all the, your platforms they have now. So I just look at it and say, you know what? Wherever I went, I can say I gave my best, from Beaumont to Portales to Seattle. And when I talk to the, young kids today, especially in sports, is it greatness you want, or is it popularity? Because the two look quite different.
Yes.
So I've come from an era where I've been great, but, it had nothing to do with wanting to be popular. It just had to say, at this area, at this time in my life, I'm going to give my best. And when I give my best, you never know what's going to come out of it. So all of this has come out of just me giving my best.
Did you have a moment where you just said in your career, maybe it was, you thought you were in obscurity, but you had that play or you had that sack where you're like, I'm here, I'm in the NFL, and this is what it's all about?
Once I got to a certain place in my career where I had a great skill set, I wasn't really afraid of anybody. It was just like, okay, I have a skill set, I got a football IQ. I can take, I can go against anybody. So when, begin to compile all those sacks, it's something that I studied a lot of tape in the off season. The off season for me, to me in sports, if you're in sports, to me there is no such thing as an off season. It's I'm getting my body and mind right to go back in. Of course, when the active season starts, but in the off season, I'm getting my body and mind. So it's never where you get any time off to me. So once I developed high football IQ, a skill set, man, I was ready. I was very confident that going into those games, that I can have a major impact. Yeah. And it's, whether it was sacks, whether it was knockdown balls, whether it was tackles for loss, whether it was just, keeping a guy inside the pocket, where he couldn't escape. Because, you keep talking about Randall Cunningham, Steve Young, guys that they were running quarterbacks then. And, basically being responsible where guys can respect you and your level of play. When that game was over, hey, we can rely on Mike. Coaching staff know we can rely on Sinclair. Because I always used to say, I'm just a D2 guy, man. Especially the guys who went to the big schools. You had a great game. You're like, man, I'm just a D2 guy.
I want to ask you about that because earning respect and being the best. He's Michael Sinclair, former Eastern New Mexico star, 11 years in the NFL as a defensive end. He was second-team All-Pro in 1998, made the Pro Bowl 3 times. In 1998, Michael led the National Football League in sacks. He led the National Football League in forced fumbles. He was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. But you go in and you say that, I'm a D2 guy. So when you get drafted in 91, in the 6th round out of Eastern New Mexico, what's it like when you go to camp with guys from SC and Alabama and Washington and Ohio State and Michigan, and you come in as a 6th-round guy and they look at you, you're not expected to make the team, let alone stick 11 years in the league?
Well, those days they had 12 rounds.
Yeah.
I went to the combine, and, nobody was just a D2 guy, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't intimidated because no matter whether you play NAIA, D2, 1AA, or, major college football, the field is the same size. The concepts and principles are the same. So I'm looking at who they drafted before me, and I'm looking at how those guys are competing, and I basically told myself, I could make this team.
Yeah.
I can make this team. So to me it never was, even though, I'm D2, I already knew, because the Seahawks sent me to the World League, after my first year. And I'm in Sacramento. It's called the Sacramento Surge. The guy who played next to me was a guy named Bill Goldberg. Well, Bill Goldberg was an All-American at Georgia in the SEC. The guy that played next to Bill Goldberg, his name was Nate Burleson. Nate Hill. Nate Hill was an SEC guy, second-team All-SEC from Auburn. And then the other defensive end played opposite of Derek Thomas at Alabama. His name was George Bethune.
Yeah.
And then when the smoke cleared, I'm the only guy on that line that made first-team All-World.
And that's something. How about this?
But again, and you look at that and you're like, you know what? It's not a matter of where you're from. It's like I say.
What can you do?
When I talk to young kids, either you have the skill set or you don't.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just glad that I kept on pushing the envelope because, like I said, I didn't start out playing Little League football. I started all this as a junior in high school. So my ceiling, I didn't even know what my ceiling was.
Yeah, turned out to be pretty damn good. Is this right? You talked about the quarterbacks you were running around chasing, Randall Cunningham and Steve Young and some of those guys. John Elway was pretty good. I read somewhere where you sacked John Elway more than any other player in John Elway's career. You get to know him pretty well that way?
Yeah, and a reporter in Denver came up to me with that stat.
Yeah.
And so, you sacked John more than anybody else in his career. And at that time, it was like, okay, the Broncos, in my time, they were the team. So I was like, man, I'm always up for playing, these guys, or I'm always up for playing what I, consider all of it was competition. But, you playing these high-profile teams, I was like, well, I don't want to be shut out because then they said, well, Mike just can get it done against, the teams that are not so good. But I want to play, that was my Texas A&I moment when we played against the Broncos. You want to show up to show those high echelon teams that you can compete as well with them. So that's what I did.
And you've discussed your journey of, how you built the habits. And so what was it like coaching NFL Europe and then the CFL with, players chasing their dreams, trying to learn what it's all about? What was that experience like for you?
Well, those leagues are where guys have been injured, whether it was physical injuries, and when you come in contact with those type of players, they're like emotionally broken. So you have to put them together in pieces because they're coming to you in pieces. You know, you got to build up their confidence because, you know, their dream was, you know, they want to have a successful career. You know, maybe they were too slow or maybe, you know, they needed some time to develop. So me and my background, since I came from all that, I understood that. So, you know, building their IQ, building their confidence, that they can still guide it, and tell them at the end of the day, you know, your children are still going to call you daddy. They don't really, children are not interested, well, my all pro or, you know, my dad led the league and they're just going to call you daddy. That's all they know. So my coaching journey, it was great because you got to build up guys and build them up as men to send them into a real world with one day I told them, you're going to have sports as you're not going to have sports. So, but if you build it right and build these relationships right, that's the golden thing. You know, the sports is just a doorway to these relationships that you're going to develop for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I think the perspective is so vital. Yeah, my kids are going to still call me daddy. You played for some coaches, man, and then you coached yourself for a while, and you won a couple Grey Cups coaching. Chuck Knox, your first year, and then Tom Flores and Dennis Erickson. You take stuff from them as a player and a coach? Because I look at the names.
That is a great question. Yes, I did. I learned this from Chuck Knox. I was 1 minute late. Weight started for rookies at 10. I walked into the weight room at 10:01. Chuck Knox docked me $1,000.
Oh, damn.
And he was like, I bet that'll teach your ass.
Yeah, I'm going to guess you were never late again. Yeah, I'm going to guess you were never late again.
That'll teach you to come in here late because he said if you're late, you'll be late on the field. You'll be late in your assignment. You'll be late in terms of getting off the ball. I learned, you know, and Chuck, he was a coal miner. He came from a coal miners family in Pennsylvania. So he always had stories about how and it through hard times to be successful. And then, you know, the next 2 years came Tom Flores. You know, Tom's Super Bowl winning coach with the Raiders. You know, Tom was all about details and then let your word be your word. If you gave it, your word will define you. Dennis Erickson came in there, and Dennis had just come from off the championship winning with the Miami Hurricane.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like, hey, we're taking it easy. You know, we are a rock and roll type of bunch of guys, right? He was more like a Jerry Glanville type. And then Mike Holmgren came in, you know, after winning the Super Bowl with the Packers. And, you know, Mike Moore was hey, we're a unified team. Let's all look alike. We're going to dress alike. We're just going to be, we're going to, you know, you need to buy into the system.
Really,
and so, yeah, I've taken something from all those guys, you know, to play for 4 coaches.
That's right.
You know, that's a lot. And it was kind of like the down years, but Seattle really didn't change till Paul Allen brought the team, and things began to change drastically.
Boy, it was a lot. Enjoyed this conversation a lot. Looking forward to seeing you in person. It's going to be June 29th. You'll be in for that weekend, for the Hall of Fame weekend, and then you go into the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame. Looking forward to introducing you that day. Looking forward to seeing you in person, but really appreciate the conversation, Michael. Congratulations on this honor and all the success. We'll see you here in a few weeks.
Okay, thank you, guys. You guys enjoy your day.
All right, be well. Michael Sinclair, former great. That was really cool.
Very interesting.
No, that's just, I mean, the path is just amazing. He was playing drums in the drum line in high school. Coach found him and said, hey,
you look like you can play football.
I'm going to turn your life around. And he did. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is The Herd.
Wow, 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 wow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Player conversation. If you missed some of that, go ahead and grab it on the podcast or wherever you get that, or on our website, sportsanimalaBQ.com. It'll be under the opening drive. The former Seahawk, former Eastern New Mexico player, he talked about if you can play, you can play. And the mental part of it, right? I love a story of a 6th-round pick out of it, as he used to say. I'm the D2 guy out of Eastern New Mexico, going and he's shoulder to shoulder with the guy from Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State, And you walk in there, and who's that guy? And like he said, I'm just the D2 guy. But as a 6th-round pick, and there were 12 rounds back then, but, I mean, the 6th-round pick from Eastern New Mexico is probably not making the club. And he stuck in the league for 11 years. Went on, coached, won a Grey Cup, 2 Grey Cups as a defensive line coach. Led the league in sacks in 1988, 3-time Pro Bowler. I mean, that's a career out of Eastern New Mexico. I don't care out of where, dude. I don't care if you're out of SC. You know what I mean? That's a career. But I love the whole concept of, I belong. I can play. And maybe he didn't play football long enough to understand the other side of it. Like you said, I just started playing middle of my junior year. I was playing drumline. I'm sure the drumline was pretty high profile, as he said. You got a lot of attention. But that coach, man, back in Beaumont, Texas, who said, you're coming out, show up in 2 days, changed his life, didn't it?
No doubt about it.
Such a great story. You can respond to that, 505-246-0610. And again, New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame, nmshof.org is where you can find all the information if you want to go out. Steve Loy is going to be with us on Monday. Great career, another Eastern New Mexico guy, but a great career Steve Loy had. Fred Young's going in, former Aggie great, who had a terrific NFL career as well. So we'll do that Monday at 9:30 with Steve Loy. He was Phil Mickelson's manager for years. Like the branding that was Phil Mickelson, in large respect, Steve Loy was behind that. He's got a great story that Steve Loy is going to tell us. I met him back in December. He was at the Isleta, New Mexico Bowl banquet, and he came to the game. All right, you got hoops tonight, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com and JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. The hockey last night, the Oilers beat the Panthers 4-3 in overtime. It was a Leon Draisaitl goal late in overtime. Were you hoping that they would score so you didn't have to stay up any longer? I kind of was. I mean, I was hoping somebody would, although there was part of me that was so thoroughly enjoying the hockey last night that I'm like, all right, dude, if I have to watch another OT of this, because there were so many chances and great saves, and like the hockey was so good.
Once you get late in the period, you're already on tired legs, delay a game, power play before I meant 10, you're sitting there going, all right, this got it. This has to be the moment.
That can't be lost in this, that it was a power play goal and how you got to it. For those of you who don't know, who took the penalty? If you flip the cup in your own if you flip the puck in your own zone into the stands, it is a delay of game. Mm-hmm. And the Panthers were trying to clear the puck. And who was it?
Thomas Nosek.
He tried to ricochet
the zone, and
he tried to clear the zone off of the glass.
Missed everything.
And he missed everything, and it went into the stands. Well, that is a automatic delay of game. If you're in your own zone, that means behind your own blue line, right? Back, you can't just flip the puck into the crowd. And he tried to clear it off of the glass and got it too high, and that was the power play that led to the Draisaitl goal. And you're like, holy bleep, how do you walk back in the room after that? Right? Oh, the boys are going to pick us up, eh? No, we're going to pick them up, and everybody makes a mistake, eh? And we just got to go out, and it's not his fault, eh? And we had our chances, eh? But holy smokes. Did you see him coming? They showed him coming out of the box and go to the locker room afterwards. It's like, holy smokes.
Longest skate of your life.
I mean, really. It's the hockey was great last night. All right, get your hoops tonight, 505-246-0610. Come on in. Want your thoughts on who wins tonight. We got, what haven't I got to? There's a bunch of stuff I haven't got to yet. There's a bunch of NFL stuff we need to hit as we're getting closer and closer and closer to camps. The Aaron Rodgers stuff, a lot of people were telling me Wednesday's the day. It's now Thursday, and it's not been the day yet. And then why Cowboys' Trevon Diggs is facing possible salary cut, $500,000. So we'll get there, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Hey, finals are underway now in the NBA. Twin Peaks is your spot to watch every game. You can watch every second of the action. They got wall-to-wall TVs there. Great scenic views, cold 29-degree draft beers, mouth-watering eats. They got wings and burgers and flatbreads. You name it, they got it hot and ready. So grab your crew, order a bucket, settle in for the finals all the way through the final buzzer. It's championship season, and there's no better seat than to be at Twin Peaks. And this week, don't miss the Miss Twin Peaks contenders in person during their poster signing event. It's June 6th, which is tomorrow, 5 to 7 over at Twin Peaks. Then stick around for their Tequila and Cervezas Friday, handcrafted margaritas, 29-degree imports, and a costume party that's worth raising your glass to. The Neon Bikini Bash is the 7th through the 10th. That is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Cocktail specials and wall-to-wall views of the Miss Twin Peaks live stream. It's a full weekend of flavor, fun, and unforgettable views, and it's all at Twin Peaks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has had
Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs is in danger of missing out on $500,000 from his base salary because he's not participating in the team's off-season program. Now, how much is $500,000? I mean, you know, look, I keep telling you, I don't know what it's like to make that kind of money, but I'm going to guess losing $500,000 or making $30 million or whatever. I mean, it's you know it, you feel it. He's got rehab, and he's opted. This is what JJ was kind of talking about a little bit earlier. He's opted to rehab that left knee that he had surgically repaired in Miami and not at the Star, not with the team. So he wasn't in attendance. He wasn't there for the first 2 phases of the offseason program. He's not taken part in any of the organized team activities over the past 3 weeks. And his contract dictates that he needs to take part. JJ, how the hell you come up with this? Like literally, when you're writing out the contract, you hit this clause. Do you just kind of scratch your head? He needs to take part in 84.375% of the offseason program in order to avoid a $500,000 de-escalator. I don't know how you calculate 84.375% of the team workouts in the time.
Probably just 40 of 60 or whatever.
Is that
You get that
84.375? Yeah. I mean,
Are
okay.
you-
Yeah, you're probably right. There's probably X number out of X number.
Maybe you're 37 of the 72 times a meter,
Whatever the number is. Mini camp is June 10 to 12. So any player who misses the mini camp is subject to fines as well. So if he doesn't show up for that, he gets fined. So I think for you as a Cowboy fan, if that's you, what do you care about here? Look, is he rehabbing? When will he be ready? I don't give a damn where he rehabs, and I don't give a damn if it costs him $500,000 because it's not my money, right? If you're a Cowboy fan, is he rehabbing and when's he going to be ready? But contracts say players must rehabilitate such injury as required by and under the supervision of the club's head trainer until such time as full participation in the offseason program can be achieved. Supervised rehabilitation by players with club's head trainer will count toward the player's 84.375% completion requirement. That's an insane number, by the way. Their head coach is Brian Schottenheimer, said he spoke with Diggs last week. He said that he had a checkup with the team doctors and all signs are positive. Stephen Jones said he's being diligent about it, that the player's being diligent about his rehab. So, I mean, whatever that means to you. All right, then there was this. I'm going to flip you over to the NBA real quick. I don't think this was a surprise. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know that it is going to help. A lot of people, and I'm not one of them, care that the NBA All-Star Game is a joke. It is what it is, right? Dude's going out and dunking and putting up, 200 points per side. So the NBA, and more so Commissioner Adam Silver, confirmed yesterday that the All-Star Game starting in 2026, so not next year, but the year following, when it's in Los Angeles, will be USA versus the world. You down with that?
I'm good with the changes. I don't mind if the All-Star Game looks different every few years. And the whole point of an All-Star Game these days, because there's so much crossover. Players are playing each other all the time. It's not just reserved for championship games or All-Star games.
They don't have a format. They don't. Adam Silver said he watched what the NHL did. It was a huge success, but he said the All-Star Game broadcast is going to NBC. That year, it'll fall right during the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics, and so he didn't give a lot of details, but he said it's expected to be a Ryder Cup style format featuring USA versus the world. And this has been discussed before. The NBA All-Star Game will move to the afternoon Pacific time in Los Angeles, so to allow for the Winter Olympics to lead in. So we'll watch it. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo said, I'd love that. I'd love that. I think that'd be the most interesting and most exciting format. I would love that for sure. I'd take pride in that. I always compete, but I think it'll give a little bit extra juice to compete, like having Shea, Jokic, Luka, Wemby, Towns, Sengun. I know those players. Obviously, I'm missing some guys. He's already named the All-Star team for that year, by the way. He's already got it figured out. I think the one thing that it does, so I know everybody gets bonus for making the All-Star team. And so you're going to have a situation where a guy doesn't make an All-Star team because there's too many on his team where, and you're going to go like that. Let's just say there's an international guy that should make it, but, well, there's already 12 and you'd be 13. And then you look at the American squad, go, I mean, you should be on instead of that dude. Or somebody's going to be on because just they got to fill out the roster. I mean, is he really an all-star? But all right. I mean, I'm fine. They're trying to juice it up. Victor Wembanyama said, I'd love to. My opinion is that's more purposeful. There's more pride in it, more stakes. All right. So, I mean, the world roster would be stacked, right? I mean, you got Nikola Jokic, SGA, the last two MVPs. Luka, Giannis, Wemby. They all go by one name. I mean, keep going, right? Luka, Karl Anthony Towns, Sengun. You're like, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, yeah, he's Canadian. The Americans, so LeBron, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, Halliburton, Brunson. I mean, the world's got a hell of a team, don't they? Pascal Siakam. He makes that team, doesn't he? I mean, I don't know who the hell makes an all-star team in 2 years, but they've already got it figured out because it's got to be that way. I mean, you got to put your big names up if you're going to do this. So I guess it's like a little mini World Cup. And that's kind of what hockey did. Hockey did a great job. The what was it called? The Battle of Nations or the Tournament of Nations or what'd they call it? It was really good.
4 Nations.
What was it? 4 Nations?
4 Nations.
FOUR?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And it was... What?
Sorry. Is there another way to spell 4?
FOR? Yeah, there's 2 other ways. FOUR.
Well, there's 4 teams.
Yeah, yeah, but there's... I didn't know if it was for the nations or FOUR.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Is there a Canadian spelling I'm missing?
Like there's 3 ways to spell there, and I think there's 2 for 4. There's 3 ways to spell 4. FORE. 4! There's FOR. This is for the nations. And then FOUR, there's 4 of them. Yeah. Yeah, it was FOUR, though, right? Yes. All right, so you got that. That's coming to a television near you, and that will be in, what did I tell you, not next season, but the year after that. All right. It'll be entertaining. I like, juice it up. I'm fine with it. I'm not one who yells and screams, oh, that's such easy content the Monday after the All-Star. Oh, it was horrible, and they don't play. Yeah, what did you expect? Like, I don't care. I know some of you do, and obviously Adam Silver does because it's his game and it's his showcase, and I get that. I understand why you care. I don't, because it's what I expect. But if you're going to juice it up, then it better be good, though. Like, if you're going to hype it like that, then it better be good.
You got to back it up.
Yeah, because the hockey one was really, really good. And if you're going to juice it up that way, then you kind of got to deliver on it, and it better be good. All right, we'll wrap you up when we get back. Everything you got to know as you go through your Thursday. You can still get in at 505-246-0610. Emails are still coming in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. On the Facebook, the OD in the AM. You're not home right now, are you? You're out in your car, you're at work. Who's watching your home? I know who's watching mine, and it's IPS. It's the good guys and not the bad guys. I've trusted International Protective Service for years. They are affordable, private security. Property crimes on the rise. Officer shortage is an issue. Oftentimes, it takes hours, if not days, to respond to property crime. IPS responds within 7 minutes or less when an alarm goes off at a property that they monitor. It's affordable, private security. They provide standing guards, business, homes, if you need eyes on your property around the clock. They'll install alarms, camera systems, and they have a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. This all raises the level of security around your home or your business. So who's watching your home? Don't wait to be a victim. It is then too late. IPS will protect what you've worked so hard to build. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
Handed down values written in stone, leading the way under.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
All right, what do you got to do tonight? Well, we got the NBA Finals tonight. Finals, 6:30 on ABC. Indiana, Oklahoma City. Thunder, 9.5-point favorites tonight over the Pacers. Last night, Game 1, Stanley Cup Final. Edmonton Oilers 4, Florida Panthers 3. It was an overtime up in Alberta. Leon Draisaitl with the game winner on a power play goal in overtime. Game 2 will be up in Canada. College Softball World Series was spectacular last night. Maybe it wasn't spectacular, just a spectacular moment. I don't know that I need to watch a 1-0 softball game the whole time, but it's so weird, JJ. I've been just catching moments lately, and I did flip over because it was intermission of the hockey game, and well, what else is on? And I just happened to, they're walking this girl and Renee Atwin. Oh, she doesn't have a hit, and it's 1-0 Texas Tech, and we're in the bottom of the 6th. They play 7, and Najeri Kennedy, the $1 million pitcher from Texas Tech, and they're intentionally walking, and they're throwing it right down the middle. And the young lady from Texas on a 3-0 pitch, as they're trying to intentionally walk her, they don't throw it outside. They just throw it down the middle and high, and she just poked it in the left field. 2 RBI single, and they win 2-1. One of the craziest things you'll see, period. Nick's coaching job is going to be a big topic until about a week after they name somebody. It's going to be a topic every day because the national media loves New York, and they're all there. And once they name somebody, you'll hear why it was a good and bad hire. And until then, it'll be every day and who should get it and who shouldn't get it. Rick Pitino, the St. John's coach, said, nope, absolutely not. I'm not in. Danny Hurley, the Connecticut coach, did not say that when asked about it. He said, oh, not another summer of this.
Here we go.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, does that mean you're in or you're out? Does that mean, like why did we have a summer of that last year? Because, and again, no fault of yours. I'm not mad at you. You explored a job. They came after you. But you got on the plane with your wife. You went to L.A. You looked at the job. You were absolutely a candidate. Like what are we complaining about here? Oh, not another summer of this. Well, you could say I'm absolutely not, and then we won't have another summer of this. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't say that. And so the speculation will continue. What do you make of the Ime Udoka thought? Evidently they're interested in 2 current under contract coaches are the Knicks. Ime Udoka, the former Celtics coach who's done a terrific job in Houston, and Jason Kidd, who's the head coach in Dallas. Do you like either of those for the Knicks? And Houston's basically said, yeah, no, we're not granting them permission.
Yeah. I do like both candidates. I expect Houston to absolutely not allow Udoka to go anywhere. And then if I'm looking at the Knicks too, and the compensation packages, where's that coming from? Like giving up a first-round pick, like is Ime Udoka? So you fire Tibbs with this roster, then yeah, you're thinking exactly along those ways of the coach is going to take us over the top. And I don't really like those moves in general, if trading assets for coaches. The one that I think could actually happen, it would be Jason Kidd, because who knows what's going on with that front office and the moves they made last year and what their relationship with Jason Kidd is. But I expect Houston to just be like, no. And that's it.
The Dallas situation is really interesting. It feels like them winning the lottery and most likely selecting Cooper Flagg may have somewhat saved Nico Harrison. I don't know that he was in trouble with the front office. That's the general manager there who traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers. But if you're going to tell me I got a future potentially, and this year Kyrie Irving is hurt, but I got Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and Cooper Flagg, I got a hell of a foundation moving forward. And this year I'm going to have Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg. I still think I'm pretty good. What's Kyrie Irving's contract? Is he signed through next year?
Yeah, Kyrie will be there, but rehabbing the ACL.
Right? I understand. So he won't be there this year. He won't play, and maybe at the end. But moving forward, but you look a year out in the NBA, it's like an eternity, isn't it? I mean, the way rosters change, the way guys get fired, the way coaches get fired, the way front offices change, not that there's any patience in sport, period. But there's no patience in the NBA. That's why I'm somewhat stunned Nico Harrison's still there. And what...
I'm not stunned that he's still there.
Well, what this tells me is...
Because the owners had to sign off on that. And it's a brand new ownership.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Yeah, it's exactly where I'm going. Yeah, obviously, this came from ownership. And there was a conversation of, hey, we're not going to re-sign Luka to that ridiculous Supermax deal. See what you can get for him. And hence...
Especially with, sounds like, too, if you have a general manager that's like, rest back, he's lazy, not good at defense.
Yeah, I mean, you think that came from the GM or do you think that came from the front office? Is he parroting what the boss said or is that at least where the thought comes from? I mean, is he fat? I don't know. I mean...
Heck, man, doughy Doncic to get you buckets.
Have you seen him lately, though? All of a sudden he got to L.A. and he went on the L.A. diet, the LeBron diet, the workout plan, whatever. I mean, dude looks yoked in about 6 weeks. Let's see what happens. If he comes to camp in shape, I'd love to see what that means. You know, I would. What is a yoked? I don't even know what that means at this point for Luka Doncic, but let's see. But I don't know where the Knicks go. But it's going to be the story for forever. All right. No Rockies lost, but by the way, no Rockies win tonight. 3 in a row. Rockies are off. Topes play today. They're in El Paso. Is that day game, night game? What time? They're going night tonight. Pretty sure it's a night game because if nobody's in here to produce, then they're going. They lost last night. They had won 8 out of 10. The whole organization had been on a run. Tomorrow we'll get a little golf. Nick Nee from San Diego Golf Club is going to be with us. We'll talk to him about next week's U.S. Open and Scottie Scheffler's win last week and the run that he's on. Kenny Thomas will be with us. He will get into breaking down Game 1 of the NBA Finals, which is tonight. The former Lobo great and 11-year NBA veteran will join us tomorrow. Thank you today to Michael Sinclair, former Eastern New Mexico star, 11 years in the National Football League. He's going into the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame coming up on the 29th of this month. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next. Jim Rome Show follows that. 2 Men On is in at 4, and then you get Isotopes and the Chihuahuas. We're back tomorrow morning. With award-winning radio, we will begin at 7 a.m. Adrian, thank you, as always. It looks great on the visuals. He is J.J. Buck. I am Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you.